week two of the NFL, man.
Man, it's going to be a good one. Um, hey, Cowboys home opener, man. That fan base is ready to go.
And what's the stat line? I think since what 2022, the Cowboys have only lost one home game, I believe.
They correct 16 consecutive wins at home in the regular season. Yeah, their last loss actually was against the Buccaneers. That opener in 21 against or 22, excuse me, against Tom Brady.
It's a while back, but that's an
Yeah,
impressive record,
yeah,
especially at home. I
absolutely.
mean, I mean, shouldn't that should say something, right? I mean, we always talk about. I mean, well, people always want to talk about how the Cowboys are a great regular season team. But it's about the playoffs. But can you imagine if they get enough wins in the regular season to have that home field? Do you think that that would help them out in the playoffs?
No, absolutely, it would. Kind of think back to last January, and I know that was a rough loss right there, but uh, listen, home field advantage, it would mean everything to this team in the postseason, especially if you could end up getting the number one seed when you knowing that mentally you have it throughout the entire playoffs. Any other seed you're potentially staring at going on the road, even if you're the number two seed. But yeah, if they can lock down that top spot in the NFC and just know that they never have to leave their home turf, during the postseason, that'd be huge for this team.
I'm with you too. I think that that gives them enough momentum. And the I don't know if I mean, what's the one thing that you've heard Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak Prescott say? It's all about winning a Super Bowl.
Right.
I
No,
mean,
absolutely.
are you are could you say that you're confident that that's exactly what the Dallas Cowboys are trying to do?
No, absolutely. Especially when you look at the contracts they've just handed out, to CD and to Dak and eventually to Micah as well, and other guys as well who will have their turn to get paid. I mean, it is. You're all in. Jerry Jones talked about it in the offseason. Of course, the motto is all in. Several months ago, and this is a team that has the weapons. This is a team that has the personnel to compete, to try and win this all. So I think when you look at the approach they've taken, I mean, anything short of a Super Bowl would be a disappointment. Obviously, if you can at least get to an NFC Championship game and put an end to that drought, that's a big step forward. But again, considering how much money you've invested into, your two key franchise players and eventually a third, core franchise player, you're all in this season, no doubt.
Let's give it a little shout out to Javier. Let's go, guys. Just
There
landed
we
in
go.
Baltimore just in time for the game. I know that Harv will be on soon. It's Demo Sunday, Ultra Cowboy. Wow. And then Javier says the Cowboys need to dominate this game. In the past, they've always let these teams make it close. Oof, I think he's onto something there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. Cowboys can go 17-0, and I will still doubt them. Wow, Ultra Cowboy. Hey, let's talk about that. Last week, what were some key points that you liked about last week's game, Ali?
Yeah, absolutely. Big thing I feel like every phase was really intact. I mean, it wasn't the most perfect offensive performance. We've definitely seen better offensive performances, but it was a turnover-free football game for the Cowboys. Dak Prescott, I think, made the plays that he needed to make. The offensive line, I mean, got two rookies starting up there. I thought, Cooper Beebe looked good. Tyler Guyton, certainly some growing, pains, growing experiences there. But overall, I felt like the offense did what they needed to do. The defense, I mean, again, continues to impress. And now with Mike Zimmer at helm, I really feel like we saw a lot out of the defense there in week one. I mean, they completely suffocated the Browns offense. Special teams, I mean, I think we all could agree we wanted that 71-yard field goal to happen from Brandon
Yes,
Aubrey. But
yes,
Cavante Turpin as well, getting his first punt return touchdown. I hope
yes,
he kept that ball too. That's a special moment right there for him,
yes. We've
considering
been
his
waiting
journey,
for
his
it.
path.
We've been,
Absolutely.
we've been waiting.
Absolutely. But all around, I felt like all three units did what they needed to do to go out there and dominate that game. And I know the Browns had some injuries on offense. I understand, it's tough to play when some of your key guys are missing there. But man, props to the Cowboy defense above all. And one really specific moment that stuck out to me was that fourth down stop by DeMarvin Overshone. If you saw on that play, Micah Parsons was in pursuit of Watson. All of a sudden, you see Overshone outrunning Micah Parsons. I don't think anybody in the NFL outruns Micah Parsons when he's chasing down a quarterback, but number 15 showed that. That really just fired me up because it's like, man, do we really have I'm not saying we have another Michael Parsons on our team, but we really have another guy with that relentless motor, that type of effort. That's, especially him playing his first career game, back from the injury. Really love to see that right there. But yeah, those are definitely some things that I really enjoyed out of the game, and just to be able to see this, I think really being an all-around dominant team win. It wasn't like, hey, we only won because of this part. No, all around, I think everybody contributed to this win.
Yeah, for sure. Some of my takeaways is like, wow, the Cowboys keep on finding these gems in the later rounds. I think
Oh,
Carson,
absolutely.
yeah, I think that I mean, I think he's gonna be up there with the picks. I mean, it looks like he's one of them type of cats. So it's one of those things. Ultra Cowboy says, don't forget about Agent Zero, which is kind of funny there. That's who you were talking about. Uh, DeMarvin Overshown is our Dre
Is our Dre
Greenlaw.
Greenlaw,
Wow.
man.
And you know what? I think they clocked him at 2.9 seconds
Yeah,
from
that's
like,
insane. Yeah,
I mean, when where he's lined up, he was lined up almost at the mic position, and then when
yeah.
he recognized that he just it was 2.9 seconds to get to Deshaun Watson. That overshown play is
It's fine by. I love it.
oh man, Ultra Cowboy, please, 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 please. Um, but I guess let's talk about some. What do you think? What do you think is what is it that you're going to be paying attention? I know that you definitely are writing for SI, and if you guys take a look, please give please give my guy right here Ali a follow on X at
Yes,
there it
please.
is at Ali Jawad 024. Go and hey help him build up his audience, man, and read
Yes,
those
please.
articles. They are nice, man.
Yes, please. Appreciate it.
Fernando. He's OG right here. We have the best four cornerbacks once Bland gets back on the field. Carson will get better as season goes on, especially when a team tries to speed the defense out. I think he's onto something there too. It was funny, right? Because I briefly told this. I believe it was we were on the air with me. It was me and Harvard. We go back like 5 seasons ago. Our corners couldn't get picks for anything.
Yeah,
I mean, we were
yeah.
there for Brandon Carr, Morris Claiborne, and Mike Jenkins era, and so close, but no cigar.
Right, right. No,
And
absolutely.
now we got this. Ultra Cowboy says when the Eagles draft a third round linebacker, they get Dean. When the Cowboys draft the third down linebacker, they get Overshown. And I mean, what's his name? How do you say his name? Maurice, right?
Yeah.
Or Mar-
Maurice. Uh,
it's still new to us. We'll get
yeah.
well.
No, it's still new to me too.
I
Maurice
mean,
Luafu. Luafu.
there you go. There you go. I didn't want to
Yeah,
butcher it. But thank you that you did not. Daily reminder: Tober is still booty free. Florine. I actually think Florine. Let's talk about that real quick.
yeah.
These are the inactives right now for this game, and then we'll talk about this game right now. Let's double check here. Of course, man, that was very very scary to think about. Jake Ferguson. I know that I was predicting it's going to be a big year for him, but man, it looks like we dodged the bullet
That was
there.
a big bullet.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No,
So
absolutely.
Andre Booth, he is inactive. Buddy Johnson, linebacker, he's inactive. Matt Wilitzko, tackle, he's inactive. Ryan Flornay, he's inactive. John Stevens, he's inactive, and Jake Ferguson is inactive. So let's talk about this game, Ali. What are some of the key points that you're going to be paying attention to, and hopefully to see what we can build off of this week.
Yeah, absolutely. For one, I think you just want to be more disciplined. As great as last week was, the penalties were still an issue, and the penalties, unfortunately, have been an issue for the last 3 years under Mike McCarthy. Last 3 seasons, the Cowboys have finished top 10 in penalties, and they had 11 penalties for 85 yards. Now, granted, it kind of felt like they overcame it last week, but when you're going up to Santa Clara later in the season to play the 49ers, you don't want to commit 11 penalties against a team like that. So that's definitely an area that I hope that we can see they improve in here today. Another thing as well, I talked about it in my Keys to Victory article earlier in the week, being able to limit the explosive plays. Now, they did a good job of that last week. They only gave up one play of 25 yards or more, and that was to David Njoku. But the Saints have guys like Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara. These are big play threats. These are guys that any given minute they can pop off and take one in the house. We saw a 59-yard touchdown last week from Derek Carr to Shaheed. Actually, Rashid Shaheed last season had 8 plays of 25 yards or more, or excuse me, 7 plays. Olave had 8 plays of 25 yards or more. And I know Kamara last year was not it's a bit of a down year for him, but he's healthy and respect his game and what he brings to the table. It's not a star-studded offense, but defensively you got to be ready for the big plays, and they're going to test you stretching the field, and you definitely have to be ready to go. So I think our corners will certainly get a bit of a test today if Derek Carr plays the long ball today. Last time we played Derek Carr, Thanksgiving, a couple years ago, I think we'll all remember how that game went. Thanksgiving, 4 PI penalty calls again. Penalties come back always with the Cowboys. Just be more disciplined, limit the explosive plays, and yeah, I think defensively, if you have a similar performance, get after Derek Carr with the front the Cowboys have, put the pressure on, and absolutely you come away with a very energetic win at home if that's the case.
Yeah, I think Brian Baldinger says the NFL has an MPP problem, right? Or a Michael Parsons problem.
Yeah,
And I think you're right. I mean, I think he's absolutely right. I mean, it's hard. I mean, he plays with such great relentless, and I think it's a great matchup regardless of how good these offensive line is. So, most definitely. Let's go to predictions.
yeah. I'm gonna go Cowboys today. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No bias intended, but I think this will be a good game. I think the Saints will bring in, they'll put up a fight. Obviously, this is a much bigger challenge for New Orleans, and facing Carolina. I mean, they put the Panthers away at halftime. It was like 30-0, by the end of the first half. But I think Dallas comes in. I think this is a game I really feel CeeDee Lamb is going to go off in. I mean, the Cowboys at home, we talked about it earlier, their win streak. They're a much different team at home. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, they obviously play their best ball for their in their home crowd and there in Jerry World. I think this is a game CeeDee Lamb goes off. I can see a 2 touchdown performance here by Lamb. I can see Dak Prescott and this offense really taking over and showing what they're capable of doing. With that, I look at a 31-17 type victory. I think this is a double-digit point victory for the Cowboys. I think it starts off, competitive, but I think eventually as the game goes on, the Cowboys find their groove and they pull away in this game.
Awesome. I like that. Jerry, what you rate Mike playing calling against the Browns? I rate him 8.5, but I like how told Dak move and get the ball out quick. I believe he will do the same against Young on the edge. Yeah, Chase Young, right? I believe
Correct.
he's on there. I mean, they really make the Panthers look crazy, right? I mean, Panthers need a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, I do like Mike McCarthy's play calling. I wish they would incorporate Dak getting running with the ball a little bit, because when Dak starts running with the ball, he just gets so locked in these games, and I mean, I think I think there was a stat line. It was against the Eagles. He threw that first pick six to the defensive end. Was it Josh Sweat? And then after that, they started getting him out and he started running. I think he went
Correct.
what 24? No, 26 for 26.
Yeah.
So
The game from a couple seasons ago in Philly. Yeah. Yeah.
look at this, man. The comments are crazy. Cowboys need to run. Cowboys need to get the running game going, man. 38-24 Cowboys. I was the only one on point off. Oh, he was off 1 point last week's game. Yeah, he was. I think I had predicted 35-17. Um, pretty close. Pretty close.
2 points off.
Yeah, 2 points off. Let's see here. And the other one is Trackhawk. Man, I haven't seen this guy in forever, man. 38-27. Wow, that's a pretty good high scoring game. I think I'm gonna go along the same longs, same I'm gonna go ahead and stick firm with it. I still think that, at home, I think the Cowboys do have a lot of momentum right now. Um, Considering the fact that the Cowboys scored, let's see here, last week they scored 33 points and they only had 102 yards rushing, and they also only had 163 yards passing. So I think that for this to be really really beneficial is we need to see a well-rounded offense. I think that for right now the defense is carrying, they are carrying the majority of the load, and I think that's good. So it's only a matter of time. Any last things, Ali, before we sign off and get to this game?
Oh man, I think I don't think I got anything last minute, but man, I'm ready to go, man. It's just good to have this team back at home, and man, I hope they can continue this stretch of home wins and keep that streak going.
Yeah, for sure. I think that this is gonna be the week to see if we can continue that path and see what we have next. Trackout says we have to keep Carr contained today, shut down Kamara ASAP. And I think that last week the Cowboys were able to, they were able to keep that running game at bay. So
Correct.
we'll see about that. Well, that's it for us. If and please like, share, follow Ali on Twitter,
Yes,
follow
please.
everybody at the Cowboy
Everybody. Yep.
Cast. Yeah, and let's repost, let's share, let's just share that. I mean, let's just share positivity in this world, right?
Absolutely.
What is Fernando? I love how the running backs are sharing the load, keeping fresh legs.
I agree with that.
It's
Yep.
only a matter of time before we start seeing if Deuce Vaughn can make some magic with.
Oh man.
It's only a
Yeah,
matter of time.
if he does it, I hope it's at home. That crowd will go crazy.
Yeah, it would go crazy. He's small, he's super tiny. Well, that's it for us. Go Cowboys, baby.
Yes, sir. Okay,